Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever you're watching. Welcome to episode 5 of the Luminary Business Blueprint Live. So I am talking you through the Luminary Business Blueprint, the alternative to how you plan your business. And when I say plan, as setting yourself up for success is what I really mean. And what's important to me in service to you about the Luminary Business Blueprint is the fact that it is generally the alternative. If you have spent any time in corporate, in any institution, in employment, you are most likely to have gone through monthly and quarterly annual business planning and review budgeting processes, and they serve a purpose. But we all know one size doesn't fit all. And if you haven't found, I guess, an ease, a level of flow, something that feels more comfortable, more aligned to you when it comes to planning and setting up your business. When I say business, that also could be leading in a role in employment. It could be a distinct project, or it could be something more open-ended, something bigger and broader. Or it could actually be something in your personal life as well, because I'm pretty sure in your personal life, you don't have monthly and quarterly reviews, but you still need success in your personal life. And so this, the Luminary Business Blueprint, is the alternative. Absolutely leaning on, I stand on the shoulders of giants, millennia of wisdom that is understanding, connecting, and following the cycles of the moon. I know, it is quite out there. And I've had my fair share of people not aligned to what I'm talking about. But that's the whole point. This is not for everyone. But so is the fact that the conventional way might not be for everyone either. So you do you, and find what works for you. But if you have been searching for the alternative, then I'm suggesting that this might be it and invite you to use it. So if you haven't downloaded the PDF, it's free, and it'll be somewhere around the video that you're watching now. And essentially, the PDF will work at any time in the year, because the lunar cycle is the same process, cycle in, cycle out, month in, month out. But what I'm doing with the lives is just giving you an opportunity to go a bit deeper than what the PDF goes through, but also just putting in some extra illustrations or extra insight as to what's going on contemporarily. What's happening right now in the celestial skies, the celestial energy, and it's all designed to help you. So this is quite literally, it could be revelation, and it could be very freeing and a route to freedom for you, in the sense of that just knowing you don't have to follow something that you've been forced to follow forever, and it's only been given, there's only one way to plan, and that's not true. So that in itself is freeing, and maybe you use a bit of this and a bit of that to work out what actually lands for you. But it's important that we're not all the same, and it's important that we have our own way of doing things, and it's important that there's alternatives talked about. So I am delighted to present your free Luminary Business Blueprint, which is your way of planning your business in tune with the moon. And like I said, there's nothing actually all that new in that. I've just literally applied it to the business frame of reference. We have been using lunar cycles for our success as a species for millennia. Actually, it's just a very recent trend, fad, to not follow it, which is ironic, don't you think? Okay, so we are in the full moon phase. So each cycle of the moon, which lasts at 29 days, and in fact is where the word month comes from, month, before the Gregorian calendar took over for about 28 to 29 days. And we start with the new moon cycle, which in this particular, so new moon phase, in this particular cycle started on the 4th of August. Today is the 19th of August. And today we've got the full moon. And so as there's different things, different stages of the moon cycle, then there's different things that we can be doing in flow, in step, in tune with the moon's cycle and the moon's energy. And what that means is then we can fight against it and things are harder, or we can know what they are and go with it. And I plan my business around the cycles of the moon. So everything that's in here is something that I've been doing for a number of years. And I think it's no secret. I think I put on a post recently that it's a badly kept secret, because it isn't really a secret anymore, that how using the moon to manifest things that you personally wish for, sort of in your personal life, that's out there, and there's it's a badly kept secret because it's not a secret, but we don't talk about it very often in the context of running our business, and there's no reason for that. So this is my invitation for you to expand your thinking, expand your outlook, and maybe find something that really does work for you. So this is all free, so go with the flow and see what comes up for you. So let me start with then explaining the full moon phase of that cycle. So we started this cycle back on the 4th of August, and all the way in the sky, so as what we see in the night sky is that the moon has appeared to be getting bigger. We've seen more of the moon as those nights have marched on since the 4th of August. And so with that, there's kind of like a symbolic, but we feel it too, which is like kind of that growing in energy, that growing in vitality or vibrancy. And then that's how we're able to use that energy to be very steely with our intention and what we're trying to do, the intentions that we set on the 4th of August, kind of like the goals that you would want to achieve in this cycle and or beyond, which I'm not going to go back over all of that, but if you want to go back a few videos, back to the first of the Luminary Business Blueprint lives, I talk about setting intentions at the new moon. So that's what happened. And then as the moon has been visibly increasing for us in the sky at night until this point, getting bigger, we've had more energy, so that it's that kind of drive. So in this first part of the cycle, this is the time to foot to the metal, pedal to the metal, and go for it. And I have said all along that although if this is a driving energy and you're kind of like, oh gosh, I've been doing this forever now, if you've been out of tune with the lunar cycles, constantly trying to do more, trying to go faster, when we will be in a rest phase, is hard work. And possibly no surprise that we do feel exhausted because we're going against the tide. So we've been building up, and over the next week we've still got to drive, but then after that it's definitely going to wane, and therefore our energy is going to become more inward than outward. So hold on to that if you feel like you've been out of sync and you're getting into sync this cycle, because it won't always be like this, right? So I promise you that. But we've been growing, so the activity and the action that we've been taking to bring into fruition the intentions that we set on the 4th of August, that's where our focus has been. And so that's kind of like up till now. Full moon, what does that mean? What does that give us? So it is very much a culmination point. This is the crescendo piece of the cycle. We've got to the full moon, and what's going to happen between now and the end of this cycle is that it's actually going to get smaller in our skies at night. So with that culmination and that real illumination, that spotlight, that in itself is an energetic signature for a mark in time. Right? How have we got to? So it's absolutely very natural to be spending a little bit of time today, tomorrow, maybe the day after, reviewing and reflecting on the progress you've made with those intentions. Now, it may be that you've not got as far with them as you would have liked. And if that is the case, then there's definitely a gifting of the full moon phase, in that there is like an opportunity to be grateful when you do your review and kind of that reflection piece, and considering what has worked or how far you have actually come. And then if you've not got the progress on the actual intention, what have you gained in that time period? Because you will have gained something. By definition, you've gained something, the universal law. So it might not be the tangible outcome that you had wanted when you sat down on the 4th of August and thought about your intentions and goals, but what have you got instead? So is it guidance and nudges to keep you on track? Is it a revelation? Is it a learning? Is it something else that you can apply? Is it just, that you had to pause and you've time to reflect? You've done more. You've actually been more introspective, which has then given creation to new ideas and new opportunities, etc. So you're always where you're meant to be. It's always worth remembering that at this time in the lunar cycle. And when I say review your progress towards those intentions, be holistic about it, not just the tangible outcome. Have you met it or not? Or is it on track? Yes or no? Try not for it to be linear. Think about it in the fullness. What else have you gained? And then how can you use that intel to further progress your intentions for the rest of this cycle and beyond, depending on the natural time frame of what you're setting out to achieve. But there's also, like I said, there's also a beautiful gifting opportunity with any full moon phase, and that is kind of like a forgiveness practice. And so who are you forgiving, and what are you forgiving and releasing? Sometimes we talk about surrendering is another word that we use, and it's that concept of knowing how far you've gone. There's been a lot of push energy. You've done what you've done, and there's part of the manifestation. Although this isn't strictly about manifestation, it kind of is all wrapped up in the same thing. Just wishing for something is never enough. That doesn't work. There needs to be the actions. We need this law of action, reaction, or that to and fro piece. So providing you've done what was in your control to do, and you intended for something to happen, you've done what you can. If it hasn't appeared in front of you, if it hasn't manifested itself, if it's not come to fruition just yet, then it is that surrender to the universe, kind of universal laws of, okay, I'm doing my bit, have faith and belief in what is to come. That concept, like I said, you're always where you're meant to be, is vital. And another affirmation that you can use, an affirmation stroke philosophy stroke outlook, is always this or better. So I've got what I set out to, or I'm going to get something better back, and that, like I said, that as a frame of reference is immensely powerful. So those are kinds of concepts to follow any full moon. But this full moon is in Aquarius, and you may want to, depending on when you're watching, if you're watching this absolutely within a couple of hours of me recording this, then you will also know how crazy the rest of the celestial energy is right now. And there's a lot going on. But let's just focus on the full moon in Aquarius for now. And I'm going to be diving into more detail the full rundown of the celestial energy in my Facebook group, my private Facebook group, Stars and Shadows. That's happening a bit later on today. So if you join after this video, perfect. Or even if you join after I've actually shown it, you'd be able to see it on through the discussion thread. So I'm going deep into all things celestial energy right now for members of my group. But this full moon is in Aquarius. And so um, that's inviting a kind of like a you in all your most glorious uniqueness. There's a really special quality of Aquarius, and there's an understanding and a desire for connection and consensus. That kind of collective vibe. But there's a fine line with Aquarius, and is that I'm not going to go any further than anything that undermines my true uniqueness. If anything's going to stop me shining my own light, then that's a no-go for me. And that kind of Aquarius, that kind of like power from within, that really like me or love me or right off energy. That's so strong, and you'll get that through this full moon. And bearing in mind, then it's kind of that concept shining a spotlight on you and what you're doing and your intentions. If your intentions haven't come through to fruition, or if you're just wondering how to carry on the momentum, how do you keep the success going? How do you keep setting yourself up, maintain that status of success? So ask yourself, how am I creating my good in the world, my intentions, whatever it is, the project? How am I doing that in my own unique and creative way? And if I'm not succeeding as I would like, where am I holding my uniqueness back? That is of the moment Aquarius energy in a full moon in Aquarius. And I guess the things to think about is definitely how you can amplify your strength, amplify your brilliance. I really like that kind of like vibrancy and illumination and luminosity kind of vibe with the full moon. And in Aquarius, it's coming back at you. It's you. How are you shining your light? What lights you up? So it's like an internal question. What lights you up? And then how do you shine your brightest? So what are the conditions? Who do you need to be around? Where do you need to be? What do you need to be doing to feel that you are shining your light? Those are the sorts of questions to ask yourself on this full moon. And the other thing with any full moon is, of course, you get that closer link to your own intuition. So a closer connection to you. It is soulful and spiritual full moons. And it's kind of like that the veil is thinner is a way of looking at it. So is that more emotion? People talk about people being more emotional full moon. It's that whole rise and tide piece. We're made up of the same amount of water as the planet as a percentage. Interesting. And we know what it does to the Earth's water and oceans. So that kind of pull with the tide, the moon has that ability to impact our emotions, and emotions are energy in motion. So if you are feeling emotional, if you are feeling all the feels, or if you are feeling in any way, wherever on the wheel, the wheel of emotions, is really dialing into what those emotions are telling you. What is their energetic signature? What is the intelligence, emotional intelligence on steroids here? What is it that you are being shown? What's your body showing you somatically? What is your body telling you? It'll be giving you a piece of information, an insight into your energy. And how do you apply that to your business and your success? Really, truly powerful. And just spending, you don't have to spend a load of time on it, 10 minutes, 20 minutes at max. Spend as much time as you like, but it doesn't have to be excessive. It's just that check in, look at those intentions, and then do that kind of like a body scan, like you would for meditation and mindfulness, but just tuning into what it is, the emotions that you're feeling, and what is that telling you? And then how can you apply that intelligence to what you're trying to achieve? And with the underlying theme, how are you shining your light? Beautiful, beautiful. Full moon in Aquarius, mapped to how you are setting yourself up for success with regards to your business activities. Like I said, so up until now, we had a clear line of sight on what you wanted to be achieving, what you're working towards. Anything that's in your control is what you're doing. If you are visualizing and you're really tuning into how you'd feel once you have succeeded in those intentions, that is going to aid your trajectory no end. And then knowing that there will be a point where we do back off on the energy, but at the moment it's still push energy. It's a chance to review and reflect on what's happened today, what has been worked, what can you tweak, fine tune, and what is building up for you right now, that culmination piece. Okay, that is the full moon cycle, full moon phase of the lunar cycle. If you want to know more about the celestial energy, then please do join me over in Stars and Shadows, free but private and exclusive Facebook group, where I'll be explaining all of the very rare, stunning, a little bit tricksy energy right now, and more importantly, what you can do to work through it and use that insight to your advantage, how to roll with it as opposed to butt up against it. So join me there, and I shall see you in a few days with the next phase of the lunar cycle and what that means to your business planning for success. Take care of you.